My name is Paul Milton, and this is my Capstone original contribution for the Masters in Early Education program at the American College of Education. Today, I would like to talk to you about literacy and strategies that can support its cognitive development. The first question to ask is, what is literacy? Well, a scholarly definition can be that literacy is the culmination of skills and conceptual understandings of the formulation and presentation of symbols that create a written or oral communication system to document, record, and share ideas. Whoa. But what does that really mean? It is the ability to read, to write, to speak, and listen in a way that lets us communicate effectively and make sense of the world around us. Literacy is an all-encompassing foundational skill that is essential in education, and it empowers people to access knowledge, participate in society, improve their socioeconomic position, and engage in lifelong learning with confidence and curiosity. Let's look at some statistics about global literacy. The global literacy rate in 2022 was 87%. Unfortunately, 77% of those adults who lacked basic literacy skills were from sub-Saharan Africa and Central and Southern Asia. And a majority of these adults, 63%, are women. It has been identified that 70% of 10-year-old children in low and middle-income countries cannot read and understand simple, age-appropriate text. This is known as learning poverty. There are two pathways to literacy knowledge: constrained skills and unconstrained skills. Constrained skills are easier to benchmark. They include readily teachable material that is tangible and finite. Some of these are alphabetic knowledge, spelling, and fluency skills. Some examples are, there are 26 letters of the alphabet. These letters have names and combine to make 44 sounds. Also, word decoding and segmentation skills. Learning common spelling rules such as CVC short vowel sounds, magic E, vowel pairs. Every syllable has one vowel. And for plurals, add S and ES for most words. This content is learned mostly inside a classroom. Unconstrained skills are more difficult to benchmark. They are enrichments to and extensions of the child's vocabulary. They're meaning-based skills that are developed over time based on the ongoing experiences of the child. Some comprehension skills are syntax, inference, and reasoning. Executive skills are attention control and organization. And some knowledge skills would be knowledge of the world and cultural variations, and the multimodal themes, which are visual, auditory, reading, writing, kinesthetic, and digital learning. Let's look at some of the parts of early childhood literacy. First, there are phonemes or letter sounds, breaking a word down by each letter sound. And lessons that support learning phonemes include sandpaper letters, a sand tray or a rice tray for letter shaping, which promotes a physical and oral connection, and object to letter categorization activities using initial letter sounds of a word. Then there's alphabet knowledge, letter names and shapes, uppercase and lowercase letter identification, matching, and sequencing. Next is phonological awareness, recognizing and combining sounds to make words. And this can include the beginning sounds in words or onsets, rhyming words, which introduce ending sounds of words, and decoding and and segmentation of words once letter sounds have been learned. Early childhood literacy includes language comprehension, understanding the meaning of the words and sentences, as well as print awareness. Printed letters in English run from left to right and top to bottom, recognizing that these letters make words and the words make sentences, and understanding the presentation of print, such as in a book or other printed item. Many theorists have researched and supported our understanding of early childhood literacy. Jean Piaget created the theory of cognitive development. This is where children build their understanding of their world actively, and this shapes how they learn to read and write. Children take in new information and balance it by assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation is adding new information to what they already know. Accommodation is revising old information because of newly gained information. In the cognitive development stage of 2 to 5 years, well, this is the preschool years stage. Language is a reflection of a child's cognitive development. But children learn best when they actively engage in their surroundings through hands-on and meaningful activities and lessons. Lev Vygotsky developed the zone of proximal development. This is the gap between what a child can do independently and with support from a more knowledgeable other. This emphasizes social support and guidance from a teacher, a parent, or other family member, or even a classmate. Scaffolding is an important element as well. It is temporary support to help a child master new skills. And this can be done using hints and prompts or modeling, or even step-by-step instructions. And as competency grows, the support is gradually withdrawn. Reciprocal teaching is another feature. This is where teachers and students work together to foster comprehension through predicting what will happen next in the story, clarifying, asking questions to support understanding of what they're reading, using question words to identify main ideas, characters, or subtle inferences, and summarizing. Students then review in their own words what happened in the story. Maria Montessori introduced the Montessori method. This theory is child-centered and emphasizes self-directed learning and independence through active hands-on lessons and manipulatives. Children are free to explore the well-prepared classroom, make creative choices, and learn at their pace. Children begin language acquisition by first gathering sensory and motor information through the various learning zones. There is practical life, sensorial, cosmic and science, as well as language, math, and art. Language is presented phonetically with initial letter sounds first, then combining, blending, and the decoding of words. Some activities are pre-writing activities, sandpaper letters, and the movable alphabet. Arnold Gesell developed the Gesell maturation theory. Children progress through a predictable sequence of stages. There's the cognitive, the motor, and language development stages. In this stage, there's pre-speech, gestures and vocalizations, vocal speech, using words but not understanding their meaning, verbal speech, using language to convey meaning, and symbolic speech, using language to represent abstract thoughts and concepts. This is play-based learning, and it improves literacy skills in speaking, reading, and writing. Some play-based learning activities include storytelling, role-playing, and reading games. There are several strategies in the classroom that can support literacy development. A classroom library supports literacy development at all ages, but make sure it has books that both boys and girls can relate to. Also, replace books regularly to align with topic teaching and include age-appropriate picture books and books with words. Read alouds are a great way to introduce new themes and vocabulary words through storybooks, fairy tales, and nursery rhymes. Question words help support idea sharing and understanding as the book is read. A writing center is very important for literacy development. Whiteboards for students to explore writing symbols and pictures are good. Three-lined notebook sheets for students to practice letter shaping, and pencils, and colored paper to promote drawing and coloring. Interesting activities are important to secure interest in the child, such as hands-on lessons and manipulatives that promote letter names, letter sounds, and word building. The use of differentiated instruction involves developing modifications for both lower level and higher level students that will help them feel included and challenged. The school day length is an important consideration as well. Providing full day preschool programs will produce stronger cognitive development outcomes than half day programs. Similar to classroom learning, there are strategies that a family can do to support literacy development outside of school. First, they can create a permanent or fixed literacy environment. They can make a home library with books, pictures, games, and videos. They can have regularly scheduled reading times, like at bedtime, in the car, or after dinner. Shared reading expands a child's vocabulary and improves phonological awareness through introducing new words and ideas. Another strategy to support literacy development in the home is talking to create a verbal connection. Simple conversations and asking questions helps a young child with their language development, and as they get older, critical thinking. Lev Vygotsky believed that language acquisition comes from interacting with more advanced speakers. But songs and rhythms are important to include and should not be overlooked. The repetition of words with a simple rhythm promotes cognitive understanding and vocabulary development. It allows the child to form an understanding of the words, and the child will attempt to repeat the words to show that understanding. Singing nursery rhymes helps young children learn to differentiate between like-sounding words or rhyming words. One of the most important literacy strategies is to develop teacher-parent relationships. Create and maintain teacher-parent relationships to jointly and fully support the literary development of the child is critical for the academic success of that young learner. In conclusion, literacy is a critical skill for young children to develop. Reading, writing, and speaking are the ways that young children can understand their environment and how to interact with it. Literacy helps them understand and navigate their world, express their thoughts and feelings, and communicate to those around them. Both constrained and unconstrained skills support literacy fluency. Learning constrained skills like letter names and sounds and rules of phonics and grammar will ensure a child develops a foundational understanding of literacy. Unconstrained skills give the young learner agency to build on this foundation and explore more abstract concepts like inference, syntax, and reasoning. Theorists are in alignment about the importance of childhood literacy. And as our understanding of childhood development continues to grow, we're reminded of the importance of the work of these influential theorists, among others, Maria Montessori, Lev Vygotsky, Arnold Gesell, and Jean Piaget. Classroom strategies and home strategies for continuing cognitive development are vital for academic success. Both in the classroom and in the home, there are so many ways that we can support our children's literacy growth by using strategies like child libraries, reading together, singing songs, and engaging in daily conversations. We can help them build a strong foundation in language and literacy. In conclusion, literacy is a critical skill for young children to develop, and our understanding of this is shaped by the work of these early childhood developmental theorists. By using strategies that support both constrained and unconstrained skills, and by engaging with our children in literacy activities that are fun, relevant, and meaningful, we can help them become more confident speakers, readers, and writers who are equipped to succeed in school and beyond. Thank you.